Good day everyone and welcome to my channel. This is Lozina Graphics. Today we're going to be creating this. So this is a simple photo manipulation. Yes, it will be looking so complicating to you, but trust me, it's very simple. I'll run a tutorial right now on how to get this type of manipulation, and it's going to be beginners friendly. So just in case you're starting off Photoshop, this is the first time making use of Photoshop, or you've used it for a while and then you dropped at some point and you wish to come back, so just follow my steps and you will achieve exactly the same thing I achieve. And by doing so, you get mastered to some of the tools. So today you're going to just focus on the brush, because you're going to use the brush to achieve what you just saw. So you're going to use the brush to achieve just the manipulation. So first, make sure you open up your Photoshop. Exactly, supposed to have a Photoshop installed in your laptop. So what I'm using is Photoshop CX6. You can also, the other versions, new versions of Photoshop, have Photoshop CX6 and CX and CC 19, CC 2019, CC 2020, CC 2021, and 2022. Yeah, so any version you are making use of, you can use it to achieve what I'm doing. So just come to where the layer is, where the image is going to use to achieve the manipulation. Left click on the man, come to this upper part of this Photoshop and leave it there. It will open up. You send it to the egg, it will open up. So you open on two different spaces. So the next thing for us to do is, just in case you're making use of Photoshop CC 2019 or 2020 or 2021, if you should click and drag to open up the Photoshop, it will open in camera raw. Yeah, it will open in camera raw. So don't feel something is wrong. It's just a normal way, the normal setting in the CXC. So once you open on camera, just click on OK and it will open up just the way this one is in my CX6. Yes, so we start up. Now the first thing I would like to do is make sure you navigate to this man's side, not to the egg side. Go to the man's side, and then first of all, you need to save this. You need to save your layer by coming to your file and then click on save as. Make sure it's not in this format here, it's not in JPEG. Bring it to Photoshop format, which is Photoshop PSD or PVD. So select it and then you change the name to Eggman. It is saved right now. So the first thing we're going to do is to crop this image and remove this empty side of the man. We don't need it. So we follow up, we go into this tool. This is the crop tool. Once you select the crop tool, you can actually move this anyhow you want. So this is on Instagram size, and Instagram size is 4:5. So just come to this place my pointer is, select it and click on the 4.5 and get the Instagram size. So Instagram size for us, that's the legal size of posting to full screen of Instagram size. So I'll just drag this man and keep it where I want. I want it to maybe cut a little bit of this man, the right side of the man. So I keep this like this by clicking and holding on the man. Left click, hold, and then you drag the man to fit into where you want it to be. And this is fine. I'll now click on this good icon. Okay. Yes. So you actually cropped it out. So I'm going to fill in this empty layer. So how to fill in this empty layer? So for us to fill this empty layer, we need to open a new layer below the man. So for us to open a new layer below the man, hold your control button on your keyboard, hold it, come down to the down part of the layer, this layer following my cursor, and you see this is create new layer. That's this button. This button is just to create a new layer. So if you hold your control button and click on it, it will create a new layer below the man. Yes, but just in case you don't hold your control button, if you just click on just the layer, it will open it above the man, and that's not what you want. You want it to be below the man, and there is no problem creating it above the man. You just have to just left click and hold the layer, bring it down below the man. So you've gotten this. So you select the layer 1, the one below the man. Come to this adjustment layer here. Come here, you left click and go to the solid color. Then move your mouse to the background where the man is. Then you select the background. Now let's select the lighter part, because the lighter part covers like 80% of this man's background. But if you select the darker part, it covers just almost 80% of this man's background, and it's not advisable. Following this tutorial, just select this other part and then you click OK. So just like I said in the beginning, you're going to achieve this manipulation using just the brush tool. So you're going to master the brush tool in following up this tutorial. So where's the brush? You need to get the brush tool. First of all, go and get the brush tool so you can blend this man's background to the new background we created for ourselves. So you come to the brush tool. This is the brush tool. You select the brush tool. Just in case you got beside the brush tool, you can see a little bit of an icon beside it. Then what it indicates is that there's other tools here. So just click and hold, and then you move your mouse to this tool here. You see other tools. Just in case this is not the same icon you are seeing, maybe you are seeing the pencil icon here, don't be afraid. You just hold that small arrow pointing down, but then come to this brush tool and select it, and then you come over here. So coming over here, you're not yet done. You need to also come to this layer. Make sure we selected this man layer, then we select and click on the max, add layer max here. So this button is looking like a kind of an photography icon. So you click on it. So you now have two boxes here. First one is for a man, second one is just an empty box with just white color. So we need to blend here. So now it's on white color. We need to get the opposite of this color for us to blend with the brush. Remember, the brush should be selected. You open, make sure you click on the mask layer, and then you now come to this left part of this buttons area. You can see the white color and the black color. Now this colors is called a foreground color, and we're going to use it to blend this. It's going to help us in achieving this blending. So it's on white. So because it's on white, if I'm clicking on this man, I'm clicking with the maxing with the brush. I'm just clicking on this man, nothing is happening. But if I should move this black on top of here and make the white one to go below here to where the black one is, by coming to this icon here and clicking or pressing the X button on my keyboard. As I'm pressing it, it's navigating to white or black. So it's black, it's white, it's black. It's on the black. If I click, now we are cleaning up this man. So this is it now, but that's not what we actually want. So you have to go back by clicking on Ctrl Z. So I just click on Ctrl Z and it is moving out. So in Photoshop, let me just make it up again. I cleaned it first, cleaned the second time, and cleaned it the third time, and even the fourth time. So in Photoshop, if I click on my Ctrl Z, it brings back the last step of what I did. If I click on that Ctrl Z again, it goes back to the previous one. It doesn't move you back to where if you started brushing, no. But if you want to go to where you started brushing, so for you to go back, you just have to hold your Control button, your Alt button, and then click on Z. Don't just click on only Ctrl Z. Ctrl Z is just removing from the last two things you did. So if you want to achieve going back to the previous things you did, you hold your Control button, hold your Alt button and your X, and then you move. So you've gotten that. So remember the brush tool you selected, you've marked, and make sure that you selected the second one, the box that has just white on it, and then make sure you come to the foreground color, put it at black. Then you come just to the edge of this man, click, left click, and move a little bit to the left side. You see there is already blended. Now you know you actually blended here. You have to blend here by also clicking here, and it's more of black, so you can actually differentiate that this background is different from this background. So to achieve this, you just have to left click and drag more down, drag it more down, drag it more down, and you achieve this. Meanwhile, let me move this to back. Let's go to now. There's another thing I need you to know. You need to make sure that the opacity here is at 100%. Now, if I should move it maybe down to 14%, if I'm editing this, it's actually working, but it is working just slightly. It's not going to be that too visible. Let me keep it at 63. You can see it's working. It's cleaning up something. Yes, let me even clean up the man. It's cleaning up the man, but not completely. It's just because the opacity is at 63. So you want to clean up everything entirely. Keep it at 100. So meanwhile, most of the brushes we're going to use here, you want to keep the opacity at 100. So I'm going back to brush this whole thing, and we are done for now. Oh, I think I made a mistake in brushing even this man's side. So this time around, I just had to add more of the mistake. This time around, what you're going to do is not to click on Ctrl Z. No, I will advise you to go to this foreground color, then make sure this black is below here and the white is here. Now let me now give you the hint on what this tool does. Black is to remove once you've maxed that area, the image you're using. Black is to remove, while white is to add. So white is getting it back. Do you understand? The white is here, is getting this back. Why once you come here, click on this, you get the black. If the black is up, black is cleaning. White is removing the previous thing you did. So you are good to go. So we've gotten this. This is fine. Now the next thing is to go and bring the egg and then fix it to this man's head. So you navigate to where the egg is. Yeah. So you come to this layer here. It's written background and it's locked. So just double click on it. You see that layer 0. Just click OK, and then you convert it to smart object. Why am I converting it to smart object? So that in case you should want to increase this the layer, you always want to increase it, make it small or big or larger, which will still retain its quality. So right now I'm just clicking and moving it around. So just click, move it to this first, the layer where the man is. You're still holding it, bring your mouse close to the man and let it go. You see the egg is now on top of the man. So you have to expand this, it's too small. So for us to expand this, I'll hold my control and press on my T, making sure that I'm selecting the egg layer and not any other layer. Select the egg layer, hold your control and then press on T. It will now expand. You can see this icons here. You can actually use to expand this or reduce this. So to expand it, you just come to any of this and you just click and it will expand it, but it's not expanding in accordance with the ratio of this image. So just go on Ctrl Z, going back to initial one. So for you to expand it, make sure you're holding your shift and just hold this the left part of this the egg. It will maintain the ratio for you. So increase it and then click on OK. Then you move this, you can move this around anyhow you want it to be. So you need to max out or remove this white area and just let only the egg to be. There are some ways to max things out, but the easiest way in achieving this in this tutorial is just come to this to magic wand tool. Also note that there's also an icon beside it, so if you can right click, you can also navigate and get this quick selection, but the one you're going to use is this one. So in case it's quick selection I selected, left click where and then come to this magic one and select it. So I will now click on the white area. So if you click on the white area, making sure that this area layer is the one selected, the egg layer is the one selected. If you click on the white area, it will select every white color beside the image we want. So those inside, the ones inside do not select, like the one here, it will not select it. Just the ones outside, the ones you can see that they are the same range. Yes, so once you have done that, we've selected just the white place. You just come to make sure it's still on the layer. You click on the max. It's maxed it out. Now what you maxed out is just the egg itself, the egg we need, and then you left the white one for us. Do not be scared. To get this back, all you just have to click your Control I in your keyboard, and make sure the box you're selecting is the max box, the one here, the one black. So Control I to invert it, and you will get your egg. So we also can get our brush. So shortcut key of getting the brush is B. I wanted to just press B and go straight to it, but I remember I've not told you. So this is the key tool I'm using. If I want to get my brush, I click on B, give me my brush. Then I want to remove this white area, and you see it's giving me white. Remember, it's because the foreground is on white and not on black. Make sure it's on black, and then I'll clean it. Just these parts that are still showing me white, we won't be needing it. Fine. Correct. So we are done with this. You will come to this empty part, right click and just click on I want us to merge this layer. So for you to merge the layer, you just have to right click here and then click on convert to smart object. Pardon me. So we've done that. So the next thing for us to do right now is to move this and place it where we want it to be on the egg. So first of all, let's reduce the opacity of the egg. So this is the time this opacity will be used, and not the one here. Actually, you cannot even see the one here because you're on this two. But if you come to this brush tool, you're going to see the one here, but this is not the one we need. Make sure you're on this two, then come to this layer. You will reduce the opacity of this layer to, let's say, about 50, so you can actually see the man's head through the egg. So that's what we are doing. So you move this, so here, move the mouse, the egg close to the edge of this man's head. You see this other one is too big. That means the egg is too big. As you do not reduce the opacity, you will not see this thing. So you can get your transform tool to transform to. The transform tool is still Control T. That's what it's called, the transform tool. So hold your shift and then you move this close here. Try to zoom in. Choose zoom. If you want for you to zoom in, you have to use the roll tool in your mouse, or you come to click on your Control and plus in your keyboard. Control and plus. Control and minus reduces it. Yes, it zooms out. So while the Control plus zooms in. So we reduce it. So we come here, and then if you move these two out here, you can now rotate these two how you want it to be without clicking on any button. Yeah. So we have to rotate this to this. Rotate it to however you want it to be. So we'll try for it to be this way, and then I click OK. Coming here, okay, I'm still seeing that the edge. I have to shift, but this is the man's edge, this is the egg edge. So we have to shift this edge close to the man's own, and this is fine. Then come to this other part. This is man's edge. So get your transform tool by Control T, and then you drag this close to the man's edge too. So like I have to go far from it so I can see the man's edge, and then keep it here. Being said, okay. So I'm fine with this outcome. So I wanna come back to opacity and keep it at 100%. So right now, just like I said, it's just more of the brush tool to achieve these things. So I'll get the brush tool and also must click on my max. The brush always works with the max. Then keeping my foreground at black, so I can actually clean, because I want to clean up. so I can see, and make sure the opacity is at 100. So I'll expand my brush by clicking on the close bracket on my keyboard expands the brush, while the open bracket reduces the brush. So I'll come and I'll begin to reduce. I'm going to clean up these parts. So this is just a simple way of achieving this. Very simple way of achieving this. See, I'm just reducing all these parts. So if you follow this tutorial, you will achieve the same result. And you see, it's almost looking like what you saw, yes, in the beginning of this tutorial. So right now, I'm noticing something, that this edge, if I should clean up this edge to this part, I won't like the outcome. So I feel like the brush tool we used, I need to brush out this place. Just brush out this place. So for what we're going to do to get this down to its edge, I feel it should be here. So you just click and make sure you select your pick tool, which is the first tool in this whole tools that are here, and then you come to your file, to your edit at the topmost of this icon, Photoshop front screen. Okay, I want us to select this puppet warp tool, but it's written in the ash color, which means it cannot be selected. That's because our layer is on smart object. So come to this layer, right click on it, and then rasterize it. It's rasterized right now. So I'll come to that file, come to this puppet of C. It's now written in black, which means it can be selected. If I select it, so this is what it's showing me. Now, sorry, that's not what we selected. And we can select it again. So, because what we selected was I mistakenly selected the free transform tool, which is the Control T we use to transform it, reducing it, the image, or low, or bringing it more bigger. So, what we want is on puppet warp. So you click on the puppet warp, and then yes, nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. You just have to move your tool to this place, and then click. Something is now there. Yeah? So this is just, I'll just pin up around where I'm pinning the whole button I've gotten. Just make sure you follow this step. So then you come to the first one you pinned, you left click, and hold, and then you drag it down to this place. Okay, I feel you should drag more down. Okay, maybe drag this down and drag this up like this. So this is fine for me, and I'll click OK. So go back to my brush, get the brush, and I begin to clean up. This place. So this time around, I'll come very close, very close to this, very close to this layer, and then I'm going to clean up. Yeah, actually I'm not making this to be 100% perfect, because I'm trying to show that this tutorial will not be too long for you, and so you can actually follow this step and get what I wanted to get. But as you're doing it in your own secret place, try and be perfect in selecting or maxing this out. So I don't like the way this place is, so I'll remove this other part of the egg, moving it this way. So I don't think I'll finish up removing this because of time. Pardon me. Because of time, I don't think I'll finish up removing this, but when you're practicing it, just take your time and remove it. And also, once you're done practicing it, send it to my Instagram account. The link is below my description. So send it to my Instagram account, and I'll reply you. I'll look at it. I'll be like to show you errors and what you got, and also to actually know my subscribers, because I would like to know my viewers, people that are following up to actually learn this Photoshop with me. So something else I noticed that I didn't actually tell you is that maybe you are cleaning this and it is very hard, like you can see the edges. It's not as soft. If you want it to get soft, all you have to do is to just, once you've selected your brush tool, you right click, come to where the hardness is, and then bring it down to 0%, and make sure you are selecting this brush or this brush, either of these two. So if you're selecting this, make sure you're bringing this very down. If you're selecting this, is already down to 0%. So make the hardness to be at 0%. So okay, let me just use this and then bring the hardness to 0%. It's still the same thing. So now click outside and you close it, and then you expand it with your bracket open brush. So not expand it too much, and then remember, just come to the edge here. Forget about these other parts, that are still showing the shelf of this, the skin of the egg. Forget about that part and try just to follow the edge of the egg. So you see, there's no much magic in this at all. I even advise you, after doing your first round tutorial, you go back and do it again, and just do it like 4 or 5 times. You notice a difference in your accuracy in cleaning up this, and in mastering what mask button is, and then what the brush tool is, and how to change it, navigate to white and black foreground, just in case you want to either clean up or you want to bring back the ones you mistakenly cleaned. So just in case I mistakenly cleaned this, but I don't know how to clean it, just go to this place, you click on it here, you get the white, and you are getting it back. But you know what you want to achieve. What you want to achieve here is to clean off this. I'm not actually being that 100% accurate in this. There are still other yellow things here. You just have to reduce the brush and then come and then gently clean it up little by little. Just take your time. But I'm actually rushing so that this, as I said, I don't want the tutorial to be that too long. So once you're done doing it, just send it to me on Instagram, and then I'll view it and then I'll correct you. And you can also ask me questions on Photoshop things through my Instagram account. So make sure you subscribe to these channels, and then expect more and more of tutorials on how to make simple manipulations, and not just manipulations. I also do graphic designs on creating flyers and posters. I'll be doing the tutorials here. So this channel is basically for how to make use of Photoshop. The advanced users can watch it, the beginners can watch it, but as I just started, I will start off with the beginners, so you that is a beginner can actually flow with me, and then the advanced ones you can still, or maybe you're not that a beginner anymore, you can still follow my tutorials, because with time I'll go into the advanced part of it. But I'm just doing this in favor of the newborn babies in Photoshop here, so they can actually follow us and learn 1 or 2. Yes. Okay. Clean up here. As you can see, this place is not that too perfect. I just have to go to my free transform to shift it a little, yeah, and then I click OK. I use the free transform tool, that's Control T, and then I drag just that part so that it can fit into the man. So we've gotten to the edges. So here you just have to come also to this place, gently follow just the skin part of the egg, and you clean up this place as well. Be careful. Like I said, just be careful so you don't clean up this hole. Go here and clean up this hole, and just be very careful. Control Z, you get it back, or you change the foreground color. So we are almost there. So is this not looking amazing? It's amazing. So this is it. Now what I want us to do right now is to come to this. Now you can see the back of this man's head. You need to clean up this place. So what we're going to do is to come to this man's area, select the man and the background, the background below the man. You right click on it and click on convert to smart object. It will merge the two of them. There are so many ways to merge backgrounds. You Control Z. You can also just select the two of them, right click and come to merge layers. There are so many ways to do this. So, but let's use this for the smart object way. I'll still tell you the difference on this in my next tutorials. Alright, so once I've merged this background, I'll just come and make use of these two. This is my lasso tool. Select the lasso tool. Select the man's head blindly like this. It's selected. Come and create a new layer. So once you create a new layer, you also come and select where the solid color is. Get the solid color. You select this color, the background color, and then you click OK. Now you can notice that maybe you mistakenly came inside the man's head here, which is not supposed to be so. Just select the second box below the solid color. You get your brush, and instead of using the black, clean it up. Okay, so we've gotten this. Now I'm noticing this white stuff on top of the egg layer, and I feel like it's not supposed to be so. You still make sure you go to brush, come to the egg layer, go to the second one, and then you clean up the white gently with the brush. So as you can see, we're just using 1 tool to achieve all these things. So, and if you're making use of this just 1 tool to achieve this thing, it will day by day, like maybe you've tried it like 2 or 3 times, you get conversant to the tool. So what I want us to do right now, what I want to achieve in this tutorial is just to teach us on how to make use of the brush tool. I think the title should be how to make use of the brush tool. So fine, we've gotten this. Now in your own time, try and make use of the brush tool and clean up this. These aren't supposed to be there. Just your own time, you clean it up. So I have to rush. So you do that and send to me on my Instagram. So this is fine. So we have achieved this. So this is just man with a broken egg head. So isn't this amazing? Very simple. So do it and then send it to my Instagram, and then I'll see it. So for you to export this to you, I feel like there's a lot of space here. For also reduce this, we just come to the crop tool. You select, come to this part, and then you click on the first one here, unconstrained, and then you can drag this down here, and you say okay. So after this, you can actually write your name here to let me know that this is you that did this. So as you're sending it to me, just come to create a new layer. You come to the text tool, just see here, just, and then you want to select it, wait for it to load, and then you click, and then you write your name. Okay, so let's just increase the font size to 24 so you can actually see it. So I can just write Lozona graphics. Click OK. You can change the font by double clicking on this, double clicking on the layer, the text, refresh that box there, double click on it, and then you come to the part of this, and then you change the font to whatever you want. Well, I like to make use of this Arrow Pro, and then I'll click OK. And then I'll also come to the same text, Control T, and then you get the free transform tool and you expand it by holding your shift, and then you expand it. So this is Lozona graphics. You can keep it on top of this anywhere, or make it very small, and keep it here. Anyway, you want to keep it with your logo, it's fine. We've achieved the broken man's head, the broken man head, or the broken man head with an egg. So you have achieved this tutorial. So thank you for watching. So for you to export this, you just have to click on the file, click on save for web. It's telling us that the file is too big. Just don't worry, just click on OK. Then you just click on your Control 0 to get this back. Yes, it's showing us just click on your save. Then you select the folder where you want it to save at. So I want it to save at my desktop. So I select my desktop. As you can see, it's already saved, but I can save it. So on top of it, I selecting on it, or giving it another name, maybe Eggman tutorial, and then you click on save. Wait for it to save, and fine. So I'll be posting new tutorials on how to achieve this or that. So make sure you click on the subscribe button and follow me up. Thank you. And then go to my Instagram, follow me on Instagram as well, and send me your own manipulation using all the tutorials or the methods I've used here to achieve this. So thank you so much, and thanks for watching. Bye.